Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unscripted, where the conversations go beyond the headlines, charts, hype, and into people, ideas, and moments shaping the future in real time. Today is different. Consensus Miami wasn't just another conference, it was a collision of builders, investors, creators, founders, advocates, and communities all trying to answer one question: where does this space go next? Because behind every project, every token, every panel, every headline, there are real people navigating uncertainty, innovation, risk, ambition, and belief. And this week that we spent in Miami, the conversations were bigger than the price action. Tonight, we have with us, we are waiting for a few Michael to join us, Prophet Shanice, Toby can't make it with us, but currently right now I have Brent Fuller with me. He is the co-founder and general partner at TBV.xyz and one of the driving forces behind the best event, supporting founders through capital, go-to-market strategy, and meaningful relationships across Web3. Brent, how are you today?
Leslie, great to see you, and thanks for having me on. I know it's a little bit past the consensus week, and there was a lot
Yeah.
going on that week, a lot to dig in, from after that week. And I would say that it was by far the best conference of the year. I think easily, hands down. I think we would all agree on that, and I think there's a lot to dig into here.
Have you been to a few consensus events in the past, like the ones that they had in Austin and then in other cities?
Yeah, I've been to Consensus events the last 3 years. Consensus and us struck a partnership the end of last year about doing some of their official events during Hong Kong. So we were with them in Hong Kong, which is also great, and in Miami as well. But I would say that this might be their best addition to a date.
I was just going to ask if it was. So I last year I took time off from traveling, so I did not go to any events. But I've been to numerous events, and Consensus by far has been one of my favorites. Aside from Singapore, Token 2049, that's
Mhm.
another one of my favorites. But coming back, Consensus, actually, I made a choice whether I wanted to go to Bitcoin Las Vegas or Consensus. It was one or the other. And I opted to go to Consensus, and I do not regret it one bit. I have been to a few, I've been to three Consensus events when they had them in Austin, not anywhere else, but I still think it was a lot better than the Austin conferences.
Definitely. I mean, I think Miami as a city, we think we could all agree in the US, maybe outside of New York is, one of the
Yeah.
crypto capitals of the US. Obviously, Token Dubai got canceled due to the war in the Middle East. And so I think that brought additional attention and folks from outside the US to want to come.
Yeah.
And overall, like I think for a lot of people in our industry, like we all know if you're in the industry that, I always say crypto is a global industry, but it's a small
Mhm.
world, right? And
Yeah.
so you have to do business in different time zones. Some of the biggest exchanges, investors are inside the US, outside the US, and why conferences are so important for our industry as a whole is because it's the meeting point where people fly in from Asia, the Middle East, Africa, South America, Europe, all to one spot during these weeks, and that's what makes them so special. And why when folks fly in and spend thousands of dollars, they need to figure out, okay, if I have a week during this conference week, where do I spend my time? And that's what we help curate
Mhm.
as a events, one of the biggest now events companies in the space, along with the venture fund that we operate as well to support early stage, seed stage founders.
I love that. I've seen you grow from, the beginning, and then one day, I don't know what happened, where I went last year, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing you guys everywhere, and I was like, "You know what? That's an awesome thing to see where, it's like you come around people that are building and, very small to one day blowing up." It's like I think Consensus, brings together thousands of people every year. But once the lights go off, the panels, and the camera stop rolling, sometimes we wonder, or the people outside may wonder, like, what's really happening behind the scenes in this industry. From the outside, crypto can still feel like noise, narratives, nonstop speculation. And I think when we were in Miami, or at least when I was there in the conference, I was able to connect. You connect at a different level than you do in crypto Twitter. And the conversations, that
Mhm.
are happening go deeper. There's there was a lot happening around security, ownership, creator economies, policy, investing. Investing is a huge one. The future of people and trading. Trading lately has become one of those huge things in crypto. I got into trading recently, futures, perp. And one of the things that piqued my interest and that I saw is that there was actually like this trading platform that was happening, that I saw one of those booths at Consensus where they kind of set you up like a poker table, but you're actually against
Mhm.
your peers.
Yeah, and I think that's what really draws a lot of people to our conferences, to these conferences in particular, is because the in-person activations, and especially on the trading side, a lot of trading, right, is kind of like who where you're getting alpha from, where is like the emerging trends
Mhm.
coming, and trying to predict the future, and obviously placing, trades. And I think that's why a lot of people fly in, is because they're able to see people in person at these like unique activations. Because if you think about where crypto's at now compared to even just a couple of years ago, there's been a trend obviously since interest rates, several years ago started to spike up. It's harder to launch a token. It's harder to have product market fit in like crypto, like pre token
Mhm.
launch. And that has like fundamentally changed how our industry is operating now. And when you look at some of the biggest trading firms, like there's very, very few assets in crypto that they actually want to trade consistently outside of the bigger names like Bitcoin, ETH, Hype, name a couple others there. And so that's why I think we're at a real inflection point in the industry where TradFi is now, I think, kind of woken up to, you can't be in TradFi without saying crypto,
Yeah.
right? And I always joke that I think crypto has been treated like the kind of the, American term of the ugly redheaded stepchild for a long time. And I think like that narrative is now changing because you realize you can't send payments internationally. The banking fees are outrageous to send money around the world. That's a very, and now the evolution of AI agents connected to wallets and payments online, this is an entire industry that's going to be sprouting the next 5 years, where one of our theses as a fund is that there will eventually be more AI agents trading and making payments than people, right? And we're at the very
Yeah.
like beginning, early stages of that. And that was also a big, I would say, topic during the week at Consensus.
I'm glad that you mentioned AI agents because I was doing a AMA yesterday with a big platform, a trading platform. And one of the questions that I asked is if I do use any AI bots or AI agents. And the fascinating thing that I learned is that a lot of these platforms actually do have already like AI information that you are able to punch in bots. And I was like, right now I don't use them. Have I been tempted? Yes, but I listen to people that have been trading for years. That's kind of where I'm going with my learning journey. And one of the things they're like, don't use bots, don't use them. Really educate yourself, teach yourself, because even if you use bots, you can really, really get wrecked. And it's like,
Yeah.
at what point do we really trust these AI agents to fulfill a task when it comes to trading? And a lot of money is on the line.
Yeah, and I think AI trading is still obviously new, and
Yeah.
obviously this is not financial advice to anyone, but you also want to be, careful when you do that. So if you're dipping your
Yeah.
toes into trading, it's because at the end of the day, where this industry goes is, you know, this will be commoditized a lot, right? And so depending on
Okay.
what AI agent
Yeah.
trading bot you're like using, and so I think for a lot of people, it's like if you're getting into it, you want to learn the like basics, the fundamentals of that first. And again, that's why it's great to go to conferences to meet people of all ranges, depending on where you're looking at, whether it's venture, trading, trad fi, and that's why people come to Consensus.
Absolutely. Now, I want to ask you a question, Brent, because you've seen founders at every stage. You've been to many of these conferences, especially Consensus. So you see the booths, you walk around, you see the confidence, you see founders or platforms or, whatever they're building collapse, pivot, breakthroughs. What's something you can immediately sense about a founder within the first few minutes of meeting them?
Well, one thing I like to say a lot is your go-to-market and your fundraise are a mirror. And what I mean by that is like the
Yeah.
companies that have like raised quite a bit of money usually have a very clear go-to-market and like how they're going to launch and how they're going to scale. And I think
Hmm.
like that principle, I came from Web2 VC before I came to Web3 VC, is very
Yeah.
ingrained in Web2. And obviously with Y Combinator, a lot of the bigger accelerators there teach founders that. In our industry, a lot of it has come from just launching a token. And there was a period of time where you could just launch a token, it would do very, very well. That has shifted obviously over the last several years now. And now
Hmm.
for the first time, I'm hearing much more about product market fit, which is kind of crazy to even say. But that is the whole idea of venture investing is you look for companies at the early stages that don't have product market fit yet, meaning they might not even have a live product, or if they do have a live product, they don't have a lot of revenue or users yet, but they're scaling for that. And that's something like as an investor in our fund, we look for companies that have early product market fit, usually a couple 100,000 of annual revenue, and have like a path to actually scale that. Because like now in this age of AI, you can build a product on a weekend. Like that's not going to be a big differentiator for a lot of companies. What's going to be a differentiator is what's your go-to-market, what's your distribution path, and then what proprietary data you can get access to that can build a moat around your company. That's something that founders are facing in this age of AI that we're in right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think you said a key word right now. It's like product market fit. And I think a lot of people don't even understand what that even really means in this space and how that can impact their growth of what they're building and understanding that business acumen. Now, speaking about builders, we do have Profits. She has joined us, also known as Shanice Best. And if people don't know her, she is a strategist, media builder, crypto advocate. She is the Florida Down with Crypto and founder of Exposed Media. And she is someone who is deeply focused on community conversion and empowering people through education and advocacy. Profits, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can't see your
Sorry,
beautiful
I'm
face.
in the kitchen. I'm sorry. Hi, everybody. Let me set you up.
Hey,
How's it going?
Shanice. Good to see you.
Yeah, very good. How's the combo so far? Sorry, I'm late.
It's going
No
good.
worries.
Go for it, Brett.
No. Yeah, no. Nice to see you, Shanice. And yeah, we were just doing the wrap up around consensus and kind of where the market's headed. But yeah, I think for builders in the space, it was I think a very interesting week, and that's why like when we curate rooms with founders, whether it's like big nightclubs that we've done events at or private villas that we did on the Venetian Island for 5 days with like the Hedera Foundation, Solana, Pantera, and like a bunch of other folks. It's about like curating rooms to like bring synergy and energy. And I know Shanice, obviously you run a community. We have 10,000 people in our Telegram. We've done over 55,000. We've had 55,000 attendees now in the last year and a half at our events. And our industry is community driven. And I don't think in this day and age, if you're not thinking community first with your product, with your service offering, then like you will fall behind in this industry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I
It's
absolutely
like
agree. Go ahead, Leslie. Sorry.
no, go for it.
I was just going to say, I absolutely agree. I wanted to hear if there was any hot takes about the 11 nightclub. But other than that, go ahead, Leslie. You can take it away.
Yeah, I won't comment on that, but yeah, that was a
We could
very
I'm
shift.
just
interesting time.
teasing.
Yeah.
Don't worry, brother. Don't worry. I'm totally teasing.
I leave it
So
to Shanice, right, to ask a question. Look, it's like there's always going to be controversies, but around certain things. And I think, sometimes events, they will become memorable versus just a networking party, depending, if it's negative or positive. But I think it's like, what can we take the positive of consensus, the networking, the events, and move in this space, in that direction, in a space that is built online. Let me ask you both a question. Why do in-person communities still matter so much? What makes events memorable versus just another networking party, based on the experience that you both have in curating events, not just in Miami, but several cities, countries that you guys have curated events? Why is that so important?
I'll start real quick. I think now more than ever, it was pretty important still back then too, but now more than ever with so much fake things online. We love AI,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of friends that are currently literally getting like finessed by the AI algorithm, right? Not realizing that they're looking at AI. But I think now more than ever, it's we're in this like era. I feel like in our world where like if you remember COVID in 2020, like we're still getting over like being outside normally. Like it's there, it's like obvious. Like it's very like there you could like look this up. There's like analytics behind it. Businesses and like people that thrive on outside events are now becoming normal again. And so for that to be prevalent as well as where our space is going, I think any community builder, ground grassroots community builder at any, doesn't matter what level really, but you have a huge spotlight on you. If you guys notice, even though it's a bear market, how many more companies and teams are like hiring for like event coordinators and like FYI, I'm looking for a new role out there for events. Just hit me up. No, but like seriously, like how many companies are now in our space like taking this more seriously because they
Mhm.
see the power of it. And to kind of finish off the answer here, like no matter what, no matter how big a company is, there's nothing better than showing like real world utility by just gathering a community. That is utility within itself, just gathering a community. And that's why there's some NFT collections that unfortunately just died and they'll never come back, or despite anything of the market, because they couldn't land that small piece. Obviously, I sound like a super ape maxi here because I am an ape, but like they did a really good job, regardless of price, keeping up with the community and making sure the community is still active and activating people. So I think now more than ever, it's important, especially in a down market, especially when there's not that much hype and excitement, because people count on this to kind of stay afloat. I don't know how many times people come to an event. Oh, I've been out of it for a while. Man, I'm really happy I came to your event tonight, or an event. Period. It doesn't even have to be mine. They're just happy they came to one, and now they're like re-inspired again to dev stuff, to be a marketer, to maybe build something.
Mhm.
So I think we're the heartbeat of this, and regardless of the market and where we're at, like hats off to you, Bren and Leslie and everybody else that stays regardless of the market price because it's important. It's really important.
Yeah, I think a big thing when it comes to events, and our event at 11, we had over 7,000 signups. We had over 1,000 signups a day during our events at the Venetian Islands, where we held events at as well, more private events. Is about curation, and that's
Yeah.
like the main thing when it comes to events and building a community. And it's funny because when I talk to a lot of founders that want to launch a token, they always ask me, well, how do you build a community? And I'm like, well, from a basic first principles perspective, is like, what value are you bringing your community? That's like the first step. And like a lot of people think from the opposite side of that, of like, well, how do I extract value out of my community? And so for us, right, we don't charge tickets to come to our events. We curate it. We bring on partners on the events. And ultimately, as a fund, we can bring a lot of investors, LPs in our
Mhm.
fund, the exchanges, the market makers, and especially from the international crowd. And that's what piques a lot of people's interest in our community, is like, if I come to TBV, or our event, ARM is called the best event, they know they'll meet like people that can impact their business. And I have many stories of founders meeting their co-founder or their lead investor. or their anchor and their like fund, and I can go on and on like about that, because at the end of the day, events, the whole reason we go to events and why we have built these type of communities is because you want to get deals done. I mean, everyone wants to have a good time, and if you can merge getting a deal done and having a good time together, that's when you create magic. But it's not easy to do that, and that's why, to be honest, most side events are crap, right? That's why we've built such a big events company in a really short period of time, because we were frustrated by events. You go to an event, they have a bar, you have to pay for the beer, and there's like, it's half filled, and this company spent $5,000, and you're like, this is a joke. And what a lot of companies don't realize is, if you throw a bad event, people remember that. It sticks. It's like, oh, I went
It
to that
sticks more
event and
than
it
the
was
good
shit.
event. It sticks more than the
Correct.
good event.
Yeah. Yeah. Negative memories for us stick much more than, positive ones, except for maybe the one during we did at 11. But, and that's why it's so important to not just do it consistently, but to over time, like build a reputation. That's why we've done over 120 events. We've not had a bad event yet. We've not had, the only event we've had canceled was because of token divide, because literally there was a war going on. But if you consistently show up, and that's why I think one thing in this space is, a lot of people hide behind PFPs. They don't want to put their face out there because maybe they're going to rug their community one day. But because we put our faces on everything, our names on everything, it builds the trust of like, these guys are not just going to run away. We're here to like stay, and like we have a much bigger aim on the event side on how we think about bringing the world together under these kind of curated high signal events. And I think that's what's kind of missing in our industry.
Oh yeah, freaking abso-freaking-lutely. Let me tell you, I think that I have actually met and done more business at good side events sometimes than conferences. And for some reason, it's like
100%.
everybody is and you guys that have been in conferences, how these conferences are. You're basically walking around, you're trying to understand the product, trying to understand what they're building, and it kind of is a lot of information overload.
It's drinking from a fire hose.
Yes.
It's and I think in particular, consensus to your point, Leslie, there was a lot more suits this year
Yes.
than prior years, and I would say almost any other conference. And that's a sign of the times that we're in, right? Because TradFi realizes like crypto is taking over, stablecoins is taking over, AI agents and wallets is going to be taking over, and it will eat their lunch. So instead of calling the industry the ugly redheaded stepchild, it's like we're peers, right? And so that's why the attendance from that side shows up. Some of the biggest sponsors were private equity funds, hedge funds, which I had never really seen at a crypto conference. And that's kind of the sign of the times. And so when these guys come to our conference, they're kind of a deer in headlights, right? They don't know the right communities. They don't know like the right folks to meet. Consensus is kind of obviously as the main organizer is the place to start. But if you come from our industry, you go to the conference, sure, but a lot of the real alpha comes from the side events around it. And then the question is, who hosts good side events? And so if you're a newbie, you go to 20 side events a day to try to figure it out. If you're more seasoned like we are, you already know. Just tell me who the organizer is. I don't give a crap what the name is. Just who's organizing it. I can tell you that's an event worth going to, or it's an event just worth skipping.
Yeah,
That
I
is
can't lie,
very
Leslie. I feel a little honored that Brett knows who I am because this guy, this guy throws some big events. I was
Brent
gonna
is an
also,
OG.
yeah, oh no, I know who he is. I'm honored he knows who I am now. That's what I'm saying. So thank you for making this
I got
connection,
you.
making this connection. I have to say, Brent, I totally piggyback right after what you said. Like you said that you guys started off because you were attending events and they sucked. And same for me. 4 years ago, I remember organizing or helping organize in 2020, 2021, some really big events for some of the big names that were once big at one point, and just in the background, just happy to do it. Community member vibes, just like, yeah, let's do it. And then I realized how much of the value that I was bringing, and then not being valued. And then on top of that, attending these more and more and more. And I'm like, wow, there's no girls. There's a whole bunch of like one kind of, group of people. And, there's a lot of women in crypto, but they're like terrified to attend some of these events because it's, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying not because I'm a girl, I run it. No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like that's important, right? You guys also make people feel safe to attend your events, because I always see both women and men at your events, right? So like that was so important. And I started off kind of really small, and I still consider myself mom and pop. So I definitely want to, like, maybe get in your ear and ask some advice, maybe in the DMs or something like that, and get some feedback. But
Yeah,
this work
definitely.
isn't easy, and the fact that you kept going.
No, running events is not
Yeah.
easy. I can tell you that. And I mean, and that's why there's not many, I would say, competitors like for us in this space. Because, like, example, like when we do an event at a nightclub, most nightclub events are dead up until like 10 or
Right.
11, and then
Right.
it's just purely about drinking
Right.
and partying, right?
Yes.
Which that's fun, right? A lot of people enjoy that. But like when we do nightclub events from like 7 to 10 p.m. is purely networking. That's it. The music is not loud, but it's in a unique environment.
Yep. Yep.
Would you rather network in a nightclub that has maybe the music's not very loud, but it's a cool environment to mingle and connect and sit on couches and grab a drink and like connect with like people, or do you want to do this in like a stuffy, office conference hall,
Right.
right? And like that's where ultimately deals get done. And that's something that we didn't see anyone else really do until we started doing it. And we're just like, why not?
Yep.
Why make the whole thing a party? You can make a couple of hours of it in a cool venue, a networking section where people that don't want to party, great, come early, 7 to 10, meet folks, do deals, and then if you don't want to party, fine, leave after 10. The people that want to party can stay. And that's the type of like unique activations that we like to do that give that mix, make people feel safe and comfortable. You don't have to
Mhm.
party if you don't
Yeah.
want to, right? You can come early, hang out, and then leave.
You make a great point. As a Miami native, I grew up here, left for a bit, came back, done every single amazing club, bar, both when I was super broke and then even now as a grown adult. And nothing can get me to 11. But that night, one of my good friends slash partners, shout out to Nettyworth. They were one of the
Oh yeah, I
sponsors of
know.
the event.
I know July very well.
July.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
invested in
yeah.
his company in my last fund. Yep.
Oh, amazing. So, yeah, I was like, well, I want to go talk to my guys. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to hang out with them. I'm going to hang out with them in their section. And it was amazing, right? I was able to have a talk with everybody was busy all week, right? So I know, okay, you're going to be there. You know what? I'm going to go there, all good. And exactly what you said, you guys had it set up perfectly, where the first few hours were just for that. And then, whatever, little DJ and have fun time, whatever. So I my hat's off to you for that, because I couldn't agree more. Environment is everything. People, I see people try to throw events all the time at different conferences, and it's some like hole in the wall, whatever. And I'm like, man, you could have spent a little bit more money on the look, and it would have just been that much better of a vibe. And that was such an easy lift. But I don't want to go into it, but you know what it is.
Yeah,
Not everybody's
yeah.
passionate about this work.
No, and like a lot of companies do events because they think I just have to do an event because everyone else is doing an event, and they
They
don't
should
get
have
the
just
level
hired
of
Brent or Shanice. That's what they should have did. That's literally what.
I I hear you, and like a lot of people do, but I think Leslie, you wanted to chip in.
Yeah, I think what people don't understand within the Web3 space, and you've been around a lot of businessmen, millionaires, people making business outside of this space. And what people don't understand is that for decades and decades, where did these businessmen make business decisions? Over drinks, over cigar bars, over, cocktails, etc. And what people don't understand is that a lot of the times, um, drinks lower defenses, and a lot of high level business doesn't happen in conferences rooms. It happens in relaxed environments where people can actually read each other as humans, really understand. It's millionaires, investors, founders, executives. They do business over drinks because trust is easier to build casually when you're a little bit more relaxed. And a lot of the times they say that drunks tell the truth, right? So if you have a few drinks in your system, you're really going to showcase who you are. People like to invest in people before they invest in products, so they're really trying to learn you, have a conversation. You become more honest. The corporate script drops, the suits, the blazers, everything. And relationships matter more than pitches, and you have that connection. And I think
Yep.
this is where, if there's a negative connotation in regards to, oh, we're doing business, we're doing this, we're doing that over in a club or this, then you really have to understand, or you don't understand business acumen or the structure of what it is to really do business outside of this space, and not where you think business should be held, because that's
It's
not where.
yeah. And look, we're in America. It's a free country. You can do business in any legal venue that you
Mhm.
want, and no one can tell you otherwise. And the reality is, in Web 2, Web 3, if you want to do business in a nightclub, a bar, a boardroom, a golf course, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you're comfortable with, right? And you can choose to do business, whatever events you want to do business in, and that's fine. And for some people, I know some founders, they go to Burning Man every year. They go to Burning Man for a week and they raise their fundraising round,
Oh,
because
wow.
Burning Man has probably the highest concentration of investors in any music festival in the world. I mean, the who's who goes to Burning Man every year, right? Or to Coachella as an example, right? And so it just is like, what's your cup of tea? But Leslie, I do need to jump. I did go a little over, but I wanted to stay on because
You
I really
did.
enjoyed talking to you both. And I definitely would love to do this again, and definitely say hello to Michael for me when he pops on here also.
Yeah, we can absolutely do another show. Just advise founders, whatever. I can send you something over and then we can get together again.
Amazing. Sounds good. Great to see you, Leslie. Good to see you,
It was great to see
Shanice.
you,
Brent.
Janet.
Bye.
Bye. Shanice, I'm going to put you on the other side. I'm going
How
to
you
put you on
feeling?
I am feeling good. I missed you. If people don't know, now you know. Shanice was the partner of Unscripted. Unscripted with Leslie Mota in Miami, bees.
That was so much fun. Yeah.
It
No,
was.
you're amazing. It was awesome. You did so good at the panels. Thank you so much. I got a lot of stuff to still edit, but I just put out a recap video.
Let me tell you, it's like nonstop. And then I got sick after Miami. So I don't know what the fudge happened. So, when you get sick and it throws you out, it's like you get so behind. I still have videos to edit. I had some amazing sponsors, Profits. Exposed Media was official partner of Unscripted. And then, a few of the videos and stuff were powered by Metasnipe, powered by WagMe. So very appreciative for everybody that came through. But Profits, the
Tell me.
panel was freaking amazing. A lot of events don't do that. It's like a lot of events, you go, you eat, you socialize, you have a few drinks. And this is what, your second year doing panels at your event? No, but you've always done panels since,
Well,
the
so
beginning,
like the
right?
bigger for the normal mixers that I throw here in Miami, we do we'll do time to time like a mic pass. But for like the bigger ones that you've been to, like Art Basel's my biggest one. Yeah, we've done uh the last 3 years we did a panel every year. And then this event, this consensus event was technically my second biggest event outside of Basel. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was nice to kind of create the vibe. The goal was to create like a mini Basel vibe with a lot of people, a lot of art around, a lot of different things going on. So yeah, I appreciate that. Definitely not easy at all. Not
Yeah.
easy at all, but I feel like it's important, and it's one thing that really like people really leave with and like take home with them, like it's memorable.
Yes. I think I did end up leaving, which I kind of regret leaving, and went to
It's
a
okay.
different event. But the part that I didn't regret was I was able to, of course, do connections and get guests for the show. But in the
Nice.
other event, you were talked about in a positive way. There was people that actually listened to the panel and were very
Really?
delighted with the speakers that you curated for your event. So they did say that the panel was amazing, that they got a lot of great information, a lot of golden nuggets from the panelists that you had and what they shared and the responses. And they really loved the panel. And I'm like, you know what? That is your thing, curating those panels.
You think so? That really means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yes, yes. I mean, you did really good with the speakers that you had. It's like you had freaking amazing, intelligent speakers. I'm like, I learned so much from them too.
Yep. No, I was gonna say, do you want to know my secret sauce? It's literally
What?
like going through my phone book of all the people that I look up to or think are like super smart, and I'm like,
Yes.
yo, I need some help, bro. You want to speak at my event? Like that's literally what I do. You guys are gonna catch me cutting some onions real quick. But
Oh my
yeah,
God, don't cry.
it's mango night tonight, Leslie.
What's mango? Or wait, mangun?
Dominican dish. Dominican dish. You know what it is.
Dominicano para la puertorriqueña. Okay, so are you are you cooking for yourself or are you cooking for
Yeah, just
someone?
for me. Just for me. Honestly,
Just
I'm gonna have a lot of food, so I'm gonna have some food for tomorrow too. Little what's it called? Um Food prep vibes. But yeah, no, just for myself. I've been kind of craving this and I'm like I just got back from the gym and I'm like, come on, let's do it now.
okay. I'm gonna watch you cook that because I have no idea what you're cooking, but it sounds so freaking
You
yummy.
definitely
I'm
seen it.
freaking
It's like like plantains mashed. And then we like saute these onions with like adobo and fucking, red wine vinegar. And then what's it called? Yeah. And then the fried cheese and fried salami. You had that before. I know you have.
oh my God, it sounds so good. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten all day. I need to stop doing that to myself.
Oh my
Um,
God. I do the same thing. But the thing is I kind of fast, so I intermediate fast. So I already have like a protein shake and everything too. Maybe get some snacks throughout your
girl,
day.
if I snack, okay, so it's I either eat or snack. I don't have an in between. If I start snacking, I will start snacking all freaking day.
Fair enough.
And then but I don't know. I just like to eat. I'm not going to lie. So I have to
Yeah.
manage it. But
Michael didn't
okay,
show up. I'm gonna curse him out.
he
He might be busy.
yeah, he said he did message me. Where's everything? Oh my God, everything disappeared from my screen. Can you see me? Can you see me
I
now?
can see it. Yeah.
Oh shit. Shit's nuts. Oh my gosh, Anise, how do I get my screen back? Because
I see you. What's wrong?
no, you see me, but I don't see you. Like it's
Oh.
literally gone
Oh,
away
maybe
from.
it's hold on. Maybe it's my phone because my phone's dying. Hold
No,
on.
no, no, you're good. It's me. It's like I made the thing big and now I can't find you. Guys, can anybody help me how to get my screen back on Apple? No, he messaged that he is going to he was gonna try to come in.
You see me now?
No, you're good. It's not you, it's me.
Oh.
Okay.
Brent's pretty cool, huh?
Oh yeah, I've been knowing him for a minute, for a few years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know, back in the day, uh we used to they used to have spaces in the morning.
Ah, okay.
In the morning, and then I used to come in there. Sometimes I would help co-host or I would be a speaker.
Ah, okay, cool. Honestly, I didn't realize at first. I kind of made the joke about the 11, but I didn't mean to make him feel awkward. I think he was fine though. But yeah, I was definitely
No,
not trying to
yeah.
be because I was in agreement with him and his posts. Cause like, dude, like some shit is just like, are you guys just bored? Like, why are we posting this stuff?
Yeah. I think, since it's already been a few days from that, we kind of last
Yeah,
week
it's
if we
moved
would have
on.
had it the original, when we were supposed to have it, I think we probably would have touched on it.
Yeah.
But today we really didn't, just because, it's kind of a little bit old news. And we're like,
Yeah.
should we even be at this point? It seems like the information has kind of died down.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm like, do we really need to touch on it?
For sure. Nah, fuck that. No
So
need.
do you have a Mac?
What'd you say?
Do you have a Mac? Because like
I
my
do, but I'm on my phone right now. So I was cooking.
Control F. I'm
Does
trying to
everybody,
bring.
can everybody else see you or no?
Everybody can see me. You can see me. Everybody can see me. The thing is that, you know how when you maximize your screen and then you click on something else, it goes away.
Oh yeah. Why don't you click why don't you swipe up on 3 fingers and then it should show you all your tabs.
Oh, you're so smart. I learned something new today. There we go.
Nice.
Babosa. I can see it. I can see myself.
Awesome. Nice. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you were at Consensus with me. What did you think of it overall? What was like your overall feel?
I'm gonna be honest with you. My overall, and I tweeted about this today actually, there's no more easy money in crypto.
Oh my God. Okay, so what did Brent just say? And I didn't make a comment, but I wanted to touch on it. So when he just made a comment, there's a lot of suits. There was a lot of suits at.
Yes, exactly.
Do you
Yes.
remember 4 or 5 years ago when we would go to conferences and you're like, okay, this is crypto. The degens were smelly. People were wearing
Yep.
shorts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, dressed like bums, with money.
There was like a few suits here and there, but like nowhere near. I didn't even like. I don't even know anybody anymore that really cares to go to the conference. It's kind of wild.
Right. Shanice, do you remember too? Like I was always wearing a blazer back in the day, no matter what, not even.
Yeah, you still do.
I still do. I remember everybody would always be like, Leslie always wearing a blazer, because back then nobody dressed up. Nobody was professional. Everybody, I mean, people dress nice, to their comfort. It wasn't like it is now. Like he said, there was a lot of suits in the conference. And that's one of the things that I noticed. And I think with that being said, it's like they're a lot more cautious as to who and what they invest in.
Yep. Like I said, it's like it's not easy mode anymore. You can't just throw some shit at the wall, which it's good for us because we as media people and people that present the news and also give exposure to brands and companies. Now we're less likely to deal with some bullshit. I mean, there's always going to be the bullshit, right? But like, I think this was just a huge indicator that our space is starting to become a lot more serious, which is awesome.
One of the things that I noticed, because we've been around a lot of these girls for a long time too. And one of the things that I noticed, some of them, would wear tight outfits, skirts, you dress cute, right? Really nice.
Yep.
I saw a lot of them dressed, kind of like cute still, but more business attire. This conference, I
Yep.
was like, wait, did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. Some people are getting more serious.
It's like now you're really thinking of your brand, what you want to build, where you want to go, and then understanding that, it's like they're not going to take you serious. We always used to say this space is so freaking unserious.
Yeah. No, it's insane. Like, I think overall, if we just stick to what we know, and we'll continue to find the good companies, the good brands, and I don't think I'm ever gonna wear a suit to the conference yet. Maybe one day, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I don't think you're going to wear a suit, but I think I can
I'm
definitely
running
see
a hedge
you.
fund, maybe.
No, but you know what I can see you in? Your kicks, maybe some jeans, maybe some cute dress pants like the ones that you were wearing, and maybe a blazer. That probably will be closest
I only
to
didn't wear a blazer because it was so fucking hot. But yeah, exactly. I was gonna wear a blazer. I literally was
like
almost
that
there.
outfit you wore the last day. That was nice. That was fire.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Wait, what size of kicks do you use? Because I swear to God, I wanted to borrow some.
I'm not telling you. No, I'm size 7 in men.
And I was like, I did not try any of your shoes, but I definitely was like, she has some nice dunks. I'm like, I wonder if they'll fit. But I didn't put any of them on. You're like that creeper. What the fudge is she doing?
That's funny. You're funny.
Oh my God. Well, are you still cooking? I don't know where everybody else is. You know, the wrap up was the wrap. You know what? Whoever needed to be here was here.
Was here. Exactly. No, exactly. I gotta invite you onto the stream too one of these days. I'm starting something new, so would love to have you on. That'd be
Yeah,
dope.
but I think I'm gonna definitely connect again with maybe with more time, Brent, Tobias, and then do kind of more of, I don't want to say educational, but more informational.
No,
Uh,
informational on stuff that, like, let's be real, like the stuff just covered today is not really dove deep, you know. So
yeah.
I would love to. We should definitely do that again. I appreciate you bringing me on.
No, I
Everybody like,
appreciate.
comment, repost. Make sure you guys are following Leslie. Make sure you guys hit that fucking share button and comment. Definitely appreciate it. Leslie is one of the last of a dying breed in this space, and we need to support as much as possible.
Guys, we got. Thank you, and I appreciate that. And prophets, guys, if you guys are not supporting prophets, what the fudge are you doing with your life? I swear to God, because when there's a will, there's a way, and when people want to support, they will support you no matter what. There's no excuses, etc. You know, it's like one of the things that I've learned the last few years. You know, it took me a minute to learn, but
Mm-hmm.
it's, you know, when people truly, there's one thing with people saying they support you, they're in your corner, and you know, it's the way that they show up, the way that they do it. And sometimes words are words until people actually show up and you know their
Yeah.
actions, etc. And
Yeah.
there's always a time and a place for everything. So I really do appreciate you. I appreciate a lot of people, you know, ever since I went solo, the support and that you guys have given. And, you know, I'm going to be thankful. I am going to be thankful to you also for making my comeback to consensus possible and for, you know, sponsoring and partnering
No, of
me
course.
to be
Thank you so
there.
much
So
for your help on the event. Everybody loved the panels. You did an amazing job. So more than happy to. Can't wait to do it again.
more to one day when we're out there, we're going to be freaking doing panels on a yacht.
Yeah, that'd actually be sick. That's actually a good idea. I'm gonna cook on that.
Panels on a yacht and panels on a hangar. I can make that one happen though in Las
The
Vegas.
hangar. There's one. I was gonna say there's one in Fort Lauderdale. That I know of. Huh. You're giving me an idea here. There's Yeah, we definitely could do that. That's definitely possible.
That would be fun, right?
That'd
And
be
then
sick.
stream it, and then
Right.
cocktail hour after cocktail and hors d'oeuvres or you know little snackies. One day we should just travel and make panels and talk. We'll
Seriously.
see. You know what? I have idea. You know what? I have ideas. I'm gonna have to
I'm
tell
gonna
you
call you
back
after
channel.
this space and we're gonna brainstorm.
Yes, because I have some ideas, but we don't want to give those ideas away.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Shh.
shh, cállate la boca. Don't say nothing. I know. I'm gonna let you cook. I think I'm gonna go cook dinner too.
Heck yeah. All right, I'll call you tonight. I appreciate the time. Everybody, make sure you shoot a follow to Leslie. Thank you again, and I'll be back. I'll see you soon.
I'll be back. Yes, we will be back. And thank you for coming on. I'll see you guys later. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Hasta la vista.